Squiz Kids acknowledges the traditional owners of the lands on which we podcast, the Turrbal and Kombumerri people.
Squiz Kids!
It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Hello, fabulous Squiz Kids listeners, and welcome to the Kids vs. Adults Weekly News Quiz. Your chance to see who's had their listening ears on and been paying the most attention to the week that just was. I'm Bryce Corbett. All week in the Squiz Kids Today podcast, we've been bringing you the big news stories of the day, run through our kid-friendly filter to make sure you know all you need to know about the world around you. Now, it's time to test how much of the week's news you've retained, and in the process, see who's smarter, kids or adults. Plus, of course, because it's a Friday, we've got all today's birthday shout-outs and all the shout-outs for the weekend ahead, including, of course, the birthday reggae tune, because it wouldn't be a Friday without it. So, here's how the quiz works. 5 questions for the kids about the week in news, then 5 questions for adults. Whoever answers the most correct questions wins. Easy. You ready? Let's do this. All right, kids, here are your 5 questions. Question number 1. The news week was dominated by the debate in America between the country's 2 presidential candidates. What are their names? Did you say Kamala Harris and Donald Trump? Then you are correct. Question number 2. As we heard in the podcast on Thursday, one of the world's biggest pop stars threw her support behind Kamala Harris for President of the United States. Which pop star am I talking about? Yes, of course, it was Taylor Swift. Question number 3. We also heard in the podcast this week how the rings around a planet in our solar system would be temporarily disappearing from view early next year in a once-in-a-30-year astronomical event. Positioned 6th from the Sun, which planet am I talking about? That's right, I'm talking about Saturn. Question number 4. Christy told us in the podcast this week about a bumper crop expected this summer of a tropical fruit which is sweet and sticky and yellow gold in colour and tastes great in a smoothie or a lassi. Well done if you said mangoes. Question number 5. We heard in the podcast this week how more and more American kids are using popular Aussie slang, including dunny, dollar bucks, and keepy uppy, thanks to the 35 billion minutes of what animated TV show that has been streamed in the US this year? Of course, it's Bluey, the all-conquering cattle dog. How did you go, kids? How many did you get right out of 5? And do you think that's going to be enough to beat the adults? I'm hoping so. All right, adults, now it's your turn. Let's fire up the old grey matter. Here we go. Question number 1. The Federal Treasurer Jim Chalmers ran into some opposition this week in his attempt to overhaul the board structure of which important financial institution? Bit of a tough one, huh? Did you say the Reserve Bank, adults? Well done to you. Question number 2. The cleanup is underway this week in this Southeast Asian country, bordering China, after Typhoon Yagi smashed into its coastal towns, causing widespread damage. Which country am I talking about? Yes, of course, I'm talking about Vietnam. Question number 3. The US presidential debate between Kamala and Donald took place in Philadelphia this week. Which US state, hotly contested in this election where fracking is a hot topic, does Philly sit in? It's in Pennsylvania. Question number 4. Renowned for his character acting roles, recipient of an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar and a Tony in his career, but most distinctive for a voice that rumbled through you like an earth tremor. Which Hollywood legend passed away this week? Yes, of course, it was the actor James Earl Jones, probably best known as the voice of Darth Vader. Question number 5. The internet had a little bit of a meltdown this week when which member of the royal family released a stylized home video? Yes, of course, it was Princess Kate. How did you go, adults? How many did you get right? Did you beat the kids? Who won bragging rights this week? If you've missed any of these cool news stories throughout the week and you want to refresh your memory, all of this week's Squiz Kids episodes are available for a re-listen wherever you get your podcasts. That's the end of the quiz, which means it's now time for...
Shout-outs.
It's Friday, September 13, the final day of school for kids in Queensland. Lucky ducks. Which means Squiz Kids goes into school holiday mode for a fortnight starting Monday, with bumper school holiday quizzes on the next 2 Mondays and daily brain teasers from Tuesday to Friday. Be sure to keep listening. Today is also a special day for these Squiz Kids, celebrating a birthday today and over the coming weekend. And because it's a Friday, let's crack out the old birthday reggae tune. Hit it. And it's happy birthday to Mimi from Pacific Pines, Archie from Dixie, Jamie from South Yarra, Harper from Adelaide, Charlie from Thornbury, Mihaly from Darwin, Nathan from Perth, Thomas from Rapid Bay, Isla from Duncraig, Nathan from Hammersley, Alistair from Turramurra. Deep breath, there's more to come. Lexi from Morfett Vale, Samuel from Petrie, Christian from Bellevue Hill, Audrey from North Brisbane, Fletcher from Canberra, Eamon from Appin, Archie and Duke from Manly, and Cody from Atwell. And a belated birthday shout out goes to Henry from Camp Hill. And remember, if you're celebrating a birthday in the next 2 weeks, we'll be doing your birthday shout out on the Monday of the week in which your birthday falls as part of our bumper quiz that day. So be sure to keep on listening. Well, that's all we have time for. For now, this is Bryce Corbett signing off and reminding you to get out there and have a most excellent day. Over and out.